What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Happy weekend, and welcome back to Paris Politics Today. People, before we get into this video, please give this video a like. It truly helps us in the algorithm. And if you're not subscribed, please do. And let's get into this news, people. Like we've been talking about it all week. Kilmar Garcia, we was fearing the worst for him, and I guess he's still alive. Senator Van Hollen visited with him in El Salvador yesterday. They did not let him go to the prison, but they finally set up something to where they can meet at the so-called resort. Okay. No prison gear. He had civilian clothes on. They brung him in. They was at like a dinner table by the pool. They're trying to make it seem like he on some damn resort. Mm-hmm. But the good news is he is alive. He is alive. So basically, they met with him, and he's alive. And I was wrong. I was thinking the worst. But they still refused to free him. But here's this guy talking about that visit with Van Hollen yesterday.
Senator Chris Van Hollen, who provided new information about Kilmar Abrego Garcia and the scam the Trump administration and the El Salvadoran President Bukele pulled surrounding Van Hollen's meeting with Kilmar Abrego Garcia. These details are absolutely horrific and insane, and every American needs to understand what happened here. Van Hollen said that Bukele tried to stage the meeting he had with Abrego Garcia to make it seem like it was more pleasant. Officials tried to make it seem like Kilmar had been drinking a margarita by placing a drink with less liquid in front of him. They originally proposed holding the meeting by a hotel pool to create a false appearance of comfort. The whole goal was to deceive the public into thinking that Kilmar was having a good time. Van Hollen revealed that Kilmar is no longer at the Seacot prison and has been moved to another detention center where conditions are better, but he still has no communication with the outside world. Van Hollen also made clear that the case is not just about one man, it's about protecting the constitutional and due process rights of everyone in the United States, and that denying the rights of one individual threatens the rights of all. On his personal visit and Kilmar's condition, Van Hollen shared a deeply emotional moment that Kilmar teared up when saying he missed his wife and family. Kilmar expressed concern for his family, particularly his 5-year-old autistic son. His first request when speaking to Van Hollen, in fact, was to be able to speak with his wife, Jennifer. Van Hollen revealed that Kilmar was denied the ability to make a phone call after being taken. He was handcuffed, shackled, and placed on a plane with other detainees with no visibility of where they were going. He was then held in a Seacot cell with 25 other prisoners, not afraid of his cellmates, but traumatized by the environment and fearful of taunts from other prisoners in nearby blocks. And Kilmar emphasized once again that he had committed no crimes. Van Hollen warned Bukele that he is branding El Salvador poorly by promoting massive prisons and human rights abuses, which Van Hollen warns could lead to divestment from U.S. pension funds. He warned El Salvador's leadership that more U.S. lawmakers would be coming, not just him. Van Hollen refuses to support any U.S. taxpayer funding that goes towards Kilmar's continued illegal detention. I appreciate all this new info coming from Senator Van Hollen. I wanted to make sure I shared it all with you right here. Remember to...
So anyway, that's the deal. He finally got the meeting, which was great. I'm sure his wife was very happy, but she'll never be happy until he returns to the United States. But it's just crazy on how the president of El Salvador tried to play all this stuff like as if this guy is treated well over there, right? Here's a photo of him trying to like pretty much stage this whole thing, and this is the post from the president of El Salvador. It says Kilmar Abrego Garcia miraculously risen from the death camps and torture. Now sipping margaritas with Senator Van Hollen in the tropical paradise of El Salvador. Now, what kind of damn games is he playing? Now, if this is true, because that's his name, he got a check by it. Who the hell is he playing with? Mm-hmm. Who he expect to believe this stupid ass shit, right? Mm-hmm. And you can barely see it at the bottom. You see these little cherries? Well, no, I got my cursor going over it. I got a bigger picture. I'm going to try to show you. But this is just don't make sense to me. How they trying to play this whole thing. Mm-hmm. Now, can y'all sort of see the cherries?
Yeah, I can.
Making it look luxury. Like, you know what I'm saying? It is just damn. It is ridiculous.
All you have to
But
do is hit the control button and zoom in. Okay, go ahead.
okay, but for that president to say something like that, who play those kind of childish ass games? And Van Hollen is right. We shouldn't give El Salvador shit. Stop that funding for anything, and check out their prisons. That if you're talking about people torturing people, let's stop giving them money. But the good part, like I said, he is alive. But Trump still, even with that, Trump still refusing to let him come back. He's alive. He don't met with him. And Trump posted this stupid ass. He had a little stupid post too on Twitter. And this coming from the White House. You got one childish ass president to the next. It's supposed to say senator meets wrongly deported Maryland man in El Salvador. They scratch out wrongly. Deported MS-13 illegal alien.
Oh.
And then El Salvador, who's never coming back. Now, isn't that childish? And that's who we got, embarrassing us all in front of while the world look at it. You know what I'm saying? The world can see this shit. This is ridiculous. So, I mean, how y'all feel about that, Sherelle Pops?
Well, I'm going to say I'm very thankful that he's still alive. I mean, really, that's the main goal here. He needed to be alive, but not put that aside. What? This does not reassure me in any way. We're not at CCOT. You're at a hotel with a margarita place in front of them. They're not releasing that man or any others because they don't want them to talk about what's really going on. Do you really think that he's okay where he is? It's some strange going on in CCOT, and they know it.
Mm-hmm.
But at least he's alive. But I hope the conditions aren't so bad that you just can't take it no more. And he's not the only person they've taken over there. He is not following the laws of the land. He thinks he's bigger than the laws, and he's just the worst president ever. It's no telling. This is not a sign of relief. It's no telling what they're doing over there to those men. And you put him in street clothes, then you say that he's in a cell full of 25, when we just heard the other reporter say it's 80 per cell. Pop, what are you thinking? This is frustrating me. It's not, I'm glad he's alive, but I'm not relieved. Go ahead, Pop.
Yeah, I think they're scared he's going to tell what's going on. Nobody really knows what's going on over there. But we know they're not treating him like human beings. We're not crazy. Mm-hmm. They're not letting him out because he knows too much now. If he get back over, he'll tell what conditions he was in over there. So they're not gonna let him go. They don't want nobody to know what's going on over there. That's why they let the politicians come in there and look around. They had nothing to hide. They took him to the prison, let him look around the prison, talk to the prison. But they're not fooling nobody. We know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And they treat him like hell. But because of pressure from the people, they had to show him. So, but nobody's crazy, you know. They might well put a happy birthday hat on him and had a birthday cake. Right. Ain't nobody stupid.
Yeah, but isn't the administration stuck between a rock and a hard place? Because whatever happened in there, they can't let it get out. But they need to make sure that these prisoners stay alive. Do you agree? They're stuck. What is?
Well,
if you were Trump, what would you do?
Well, Trump gonna keep doing what he's doing. You know, and if he's going to do underhand stuff, you'll never know till after the underhand stuff is done. But he can do what he want to do because they gave him a free pass in the United States. They basically told him he can do whatever he want to do, and that's what he's doing. You know, but it's going to turn out like he think it's going to turn out. His whole little thing gonna fall apart. The people gonna pressure him, and it's gonna be, he ain't getting away with nothing like he's thinking. So they just come out of more richer, while the poor people get poorer, while they put all this stuff on us,
Oh gosh.
Yeah, but I mean that's a fact. Now let me read this super sticker real fast, a super chat. Rebecca says, "Happy Easter, Perry, Pops, and Sherelle. Love you and love this channel always. Speaking and sharing the truth." Thanks, Rebecca, and happy Easter to you. Happy Easter weekend to everybody in the chat.
Yeah.
And thanks for that super chat, Rebecca.
Sweet.
Yeah. So,
what about you, Perry? Are you reassured now that he's been seen?
no, I mean, okay, I was wrong about that part, but they did transfer him out of that CCOT.
Yeah, why not transfer him home?
I know that they transferred him about 8 or 9 days ago to some other detention center, right? Because maybe things were heating up. If he would have been still in the other place, our thinking could have been right if he'd have been over there for the last 8 or 9 days. I'm just saying. But they probably safeguarding him a little bit with no intentions on bringing him back because Trump is going to look very weak.
If he brings him back.
To the MAGA people, yes. He'll look like he's not the powerful man that he want to be.
Wouldn't he be relieved that the Supreme Court will now leave him alone?
Then he'll think the Supreme Court can tell him what to do. A dictator don't want nobody telling them what they can do, whether you're Supreme Court, Congress, Senator, you or Pops.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to hear that. Right? So that's what I think, that they're going to do anything to keep him from coming over because Trump going to look like an idiot. That's the right thing to do. That's where he's supposed to be. And over here, to get due process, if you're going to try to deport anybody.
He's not in high school where you worry about what your friends think. He's the president of the United States that needs to do what's best for the people. He seems to have forgotten that.
Yeah, but he's a president.
Don't tell him what they're doing up in there.
He's a president that's still acting like he in high school.
Yeah.
And just because you get older don't mean you get no wiser or more mature. Look at the damn tweet he put out the other day.
Yeah. That's just.
And then the El Salvador president ain't no better.
Okay, he's not.
That was really ridiculous.
Yeah.
Acting like he on some damn resort.
So what was that all about? Do you think they panicked? What? When Van Hollen first went there, why didn't they just let him in to show him that, see, Garcia's still alive and answer a few questions and he could have went home? But what is all of this about? A margarita? Come on.
Right. And see, now, whatever we say over here, and lately the media and social media have been going crazy about the treatment in CCOT and the fear that Garcia might not be here any longer. So they come out, they transfer him when all this stuff, because we've been talking about it for a minute now. Mm-hmm. They transfer him to get a little bit more safety, but nobody wants to be in there. And then they prop him out here to act like, oh no, he's not getting treated that bad over here. And as if he's supposed to believe that. How many more prisoners was next to him? None. And then as soon as he left up, they don't cuff him back up and send him back to prison.
And whose bright idea was it to do it at a hotel? Whose idea was it? Let's put a margarita in front of him. What? They think we're stupid. That's an insult to everybody's intelligence.
It shows that Trump might be in tune with the rich people. Mm-hmm. The rich people might be in tune with him, mm-hmm. but he's not in tune with the ordinary people. They don't think. They don't think like we think. Yeah. So they assuming we think this way, so that's why it shows up when they do the stuff they do, Wait,
really, no. They really thought if they put a glass of margarita in front of him that we think that he's on vacation?
You know why?
No, why?
That shows they think the American people are stupid.
They do.
That's all that could be, But they're going to see that we're not,
But that's exactly, but what pissed you off is because they tried it. And it's so childish, Yeah. But so that's what happened yesterday. And because it was too late for me to try to go on last night to say, hey, but I was fearful that he was no longer here. Thank God he is, but he's still not coming back to the States. And according to Trump, he ain't never coming back because I think he'll look weak in front of MAGA people.
And did you realize they put it out in the middle of the night when everyone was asleep?
Yeah, you're right about that. Oh, y'all been going crazy, acting like something happened to him.
Right.
Look at him. He's living his best life. That's some bullshit.
The margarita was too
The
much for me.
margaritas with
But
some
I'll
cherries
say it
on top.
again. Thank you, dear Lord, that he is still with us, because I really was concerned. I'm still concerned.
Still
but
concerned, yeah.
yeah.
Because I'm saying, like right now, until he come back, he ain't safe. Like
Yeah.
I
He
tell
ain't coming
Latinos,
back.
Hispanics when they out here roaming the
What do
streets,
you
because
mean he's not coming back?
we got some
They
other
ain't sending
stories.
him back here.
Well, the
Mhm.
Supreme Court said he better get back here.
Well,
Trump
Supreme
ain't
Court
thinking about
said,
what they
the federal judge
say.
in
He
Maryland
ain't
said,
listening to them. He's not coming back here.
What do you think's gonna what do you think's gonna happen to him?
Listen, Donald Trump not waiting to be on a dictator. When people say he's going to be a dictator and he want to be this, he already is. And that's why he's running this country like he don't have to answer nobody. And he don't, because they told him he don't have to. You know.
So
but
what are you saying? Is that we're thinking he's going to be gone in 4 years and he has every intention of staying president? Is this what you're saying?
I'm saying he won't be here in 4 years, I don't believe. But I'm saying right now.
Saying that, what do you think's going to happen to him? You keep saying that.
I mean, maybe past at old age or from
No,
health
I'm
reasons.
saying the American people is not going to let him stay in it. He's not going to stay in office no 4 years. I don't believe it. I don't see it. There's no way he's going to make it 4 years. You know, and the American people going to do what the Democrats can't do. They're going to get him out of there. Then the Democrats going to stand up there and try to impeach him and stuff. But he's never going to make it. He's not going to, unless he change what he's doing. You know, when he starts hitting people pocketbooks, it comes a different story. When people can't go to the grocery store and buy food, it's a different story. People that wouldn't say nothing will say something when they got a baby there and he ain't got no formula. People that wouldn't go out in the streets will go out there then. So it's never gonna work for him. It's never gonna work. But we're gonna have to suffer in the meantime. But you're gonna see, they think the March on Washington was something. You wait till they really get out here and start marching again.
Hold on, Nate for life. Is he really going through with this birthday parade thing? Is he going to do this?
They're in the middle trying to make plans for it. And
Oh
Nate,
my God, I can't take
they
it.
want to know what we think about it. It's about as
cannot
childish
take
as that damn tweet he put out there yesterday. Oh my God. It's crazy. But anyway, so thank God he is alive. But it don't mean we was wrong about the treatment over there. And we have, by them deporting them over there, has exposed El Salvador prisons to the world. And now he's trying to clean it up like they're at some damn resort. But here's Senator Van Hollen today at a press conference. Now, it's probably about 5 or 6 minutes story around there. So if y'all need me to stop it, just say something.
Okay.
Home every day. He said that in the car at that time. He was handcuffed, shackled, and put on a plane along with some others where they couldn't know for sure where they were going. They landed. He said he was not afraid of the other, where the conditions are better, news from the outside world.
Terrell, you say something?
I said, what's happening? It keeps skipping. Can you see it? Or maybe that's me.
I can see it.
Mine's not skipping.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's me again. Go ahead, Peter.
And no ability to communicate with anybody in the outside world. His conversation with me was the first communication he'd had with anybody outside of prison since he was abducted.
That was about most of it, because I was trying to get that 7-minute version of it, but that's good enough. He gave this conference today and just was basically talking about the conversation they had. He couldn't get into much. He just wanted to let his wife know he loved them, and his artistic son, wasn't too much more to get into of what he said and this whole thing. But it's all crazy because, he he's the face of it, the person that we're talking about, Kilmar Garcia, but it's a lot of people that's over there
Right.
wrongly. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
With no due process. But while they over there and we talking about it, it don't stop Trump. He
Yeah.
ain't stopping. Right now, the Department of Homeland Security accidentally, they say, sent notices to American citizens that they have to self-deport and leave the country within 7 days.
What?
And I'm gonna play this videotape and then we can get into it.
Boston exclusive, a Boston resident getting a shocking email from the federal government, an immigration notice saying she had to leave the country immediately, even though she's a U.S. citizen. Michael Rosenfield has the story you'll only see right here on NBC Boston.
When Massachusetts resident Nicole Micciarone received this email on Friday telling her to leave the country, she was baffled.
At first I thought it was for a client, but I looked really closely and the only name on the email was mine. So it said that my parole status had been terminated and I should leave the country within 7 days.
But the 40-year-old is a U.S. citizen, born in Newton and raised in Sharon.
Probably, hopefully sent to me in error. But it's a little concerning that these are going out to U.S. citizens.
Micciarone is an immigration attorney working with many clients facing possible deportation issues, so her name and email are on a lot of paperwork.
The language in the email is very threatening, and it looks kind of like a sketchy spam email. It doesn't look like an official government notice.
But it is.
But it is.
In a statement, a senior Department of Homeland Security official told us Customs and Border Protection is issuing notices terminating parole for individuals who do not have lawful status to remain. And CBP used the known email addresses of the alien to send notifications. If a non-personal email, such as an American citizen contact, was provided by the alien, notices may have been sent to unintended recipients. CBP is monitoring communications and will address any issues on a case-by-case basis.
I think it's really scary that this is going on. It says that they're not being very careful.
Micciarone posted about the email on social media and has received thousands of responses from around the world.
I think it's a scare tactic. I think they want people afraid of immigration.
Nicole says she will not be reaching out to Homeland Security. She believes this was an administrative error and she hopes nothing more comes of it. In Boston, Michael Rosenfield, NBC 10 Boston.
So look,
It's ridiculous.
here we go again. Now,
It's ridiculous.
And if it went to the wrong person, even if it went to the person they intended to go to, at the end of the day, who really gonna self-deport themselves? Who gonna self-deport themselves within? And then on top of that, within 7 days. First, he tried to give a thing. If you're undocumented, you got to register and all this with the government. I think he said by Friday. What was it, last Friday? But either way, if it was this Friday or next Friday, I would say who would do that? But then some people may, because they see that he's loading up planes and everything, sending people to El Salvador, and they figure they'll be better off in their own country instead of in CCOT. So he's still playing these games. Well, not games. He really instilling fear in people. And they got the right. If you a Hispanic or Latino person, or yeah, any kind of minority at this point, even black, you watch your damn step and you need to be a little frightened of what Trump trying to do here. Because Pops can be the next one on that damn plane. No, I'm just keeping it real now. I'm using
it makes no sense. If I'm Hispanic and I get that email, I'm not trying to go to CCOT. I'm not trying to self-deport. You got to come get me. Come get me. Because that is just so. Well, then that's the only way I'm going back. I'm not self-deporting. I'm just
they'll go get them. If they don't come, they'll go get them.
So what you're saying that they should self-deport? That's so ridiculous.
No, I'm saying I wouldn't self-deport, but I'm saying the ones that don't, and they'll come get them. Trump and them will come get them.
Sick of this whole mess. I just can't wait until he's out of office so we can go back to what we were. This he hasn't even been in office 100 days yet. This is just too much.
That's why I say he'll never make it. He won't make it though 4 years. No way.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to need him to leave like tomorrow. He's just and he's doing all this weird stuff to deportation when he's not even addressing the real problem, which is Elon Musk. Were you going to get to that today, Perry? That's the real problem. He has a rat in the office, and his name is Elon Musk. But you want to scare people, send them emails, break up families, send them down to CCOT, stage phony interviews with margaritas in front of a swimming pool. And it's just so I can't handle Donald Trump anymore. I wish I could just get rid of him, and we'll take Bush, we'll take anybody over Donald Trump, and we can just get back to being the country we used to be. But all of this abducting people out the streets, smashing in people's car windows, is just too much. I just had a nervous breakdown, y'all. That's what that was. I can't take it.
And then later in the show, maybe we might get into Elon Musk. I thought we talked about him yesterday. And it's pretty much the same thing, or unless you just want to say how much, because now he's digging into people's getting all that data. So maybe we will get to it by the end of the show.
Okay.
But look, this is a real serious matter. They ain't took nothing seriously. And we all sitting here voicing our opinions throughout social media because the major networks ain't going that hard to talk about it. But Trump's still trying to deport people and still fearing them to make them self-deport. So as we speak right now,
didn't they tell him to stop deporting people? Didn't somebody tell him?
He blows off the rules. The Maryland judge told him to not send him out United States. Well, the plane already took off. Then he said, turn the plane around. He just won't listen. He don't listen.
Because he's above the law.
He's above the law. You're right.
He's above the law. But they told him he was above the law. So he just acted accordingly what they told him. You know, you can do whatever you want to do. And just like he always said, he could shoot somebody in the streets and they wouldn't do nothing. And he's right. And he's taking advantage of it. Where anybody else with common sense would, notice that you just don't do anything. I mean, just because you can, common sense would tell you that. But he has no moral, he has no ability to know what's right from wrong. All he's concerned with the rich people.
Yeah.
As long as they happy, he happy. And now he trying to get his money back. That's why he dealing with all the rich people and buying stocks and, without telling people and stuff. Because he trying to get back rich. He took a bit, when they took him out in courts and stuff, he was almost broke. So that's why he's hanging out with the rich people.
And then the crazy part, Pops, I'm going to tell you this part too. Even though, how sometimes things will make you pause when Van Hollen is giving this press conference, you might want to just back away a little bit and not do nothing too crazy where people keep looking at you. Yeah. But as he's giving a press conference, attorneys had to go and file a restraining order asking Judge Borsberg, the one in Maryland, for a restraining order to keep Trump from deporting more Venezuelan nationals. Because within the last couple of hours, they was loading Venezuelan nationals on a bus to be deported in the next 24 hours without notice. And see, and they're saying, I guess, with that Enemy Alien Act or something, you still got to give them some type of notice so they can file some type of petition, right? They ain't doing that.
Give who notice? The undocumented worker?
The immigrant or the person that they're trying to deport, yes. I mean, give them some kind of due process. So
what's the restraining order for?
The restraining order is the same thing they tried to do when they took Trump to court for the people who got shipped to El Salvador. To stop him from doing it until they get due process. The judge is giving them the restraining order, but it's just not stopping Trump. That's what Pop's saying. That he don't give a damn who give him the order.
Well, he don't have to.
Right.
They told him he had absolute power, and that's what he got.
So that's happening now. He's putting immigrants on a bus to go where?
to El Salvador.
Oh
Okay,
my God, Perry.
put them on
I
the bus,
can't.
and then bus gonna eventually take you to a plane to send your ass within the next 24 hours. That's why all these attorneys is trying to get a restraining order, so he can't have the excuse that plane was already over there, shit like that. But here's a little clip of this guy talking about.
Breaking news out of Texas in the alien enemies case, where the ACLU is filing an emergency motion for immediate ruling on the TRO motion in light of the Alien Enemy Act removals. They are saying that the Venezuelans have already been loaded onto buses right now. They are being transported to the airport for another flight. And this is a big deal. So hopefully this is not going to be a repeat of what happened last time with Judge Boasberg, because he, again, is the judge here, and they didn't listen to him last time. So if they do the same thing again, that's not going to be good for us. As you can see here, it says, quote, plaintiffs learned that the government has begun giving notice of removal to class members in English only, which they don't all know. And it doesn't say how much time they have to contest the removal. And upon information and belief, individuals have already been loaded onto buses.
Jeez, this is never going to stop. This is never going to stop.
He won't stop. I mean, Hitler didn't stop. He ain't trying to stop.
Well,
you can't be a dictator unless you can come and lay down your ultimate power. By bringing Kilmar Garcia back is a sign of weakness. If you want to be a dictator, nobody question what you do or what you say. Whether you're the Supreme Court, a judge in Maryland, it just doesn't matter, right? And they still on this path with it.
He's
so
already a dictator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I don't think people get it. He already a dictator. He got all the power of dictator right now, and the politicians gave it to him. You know, they told him he can do whatever he want to do, and that's what he's doing. You know, they gave him the power.
You said that the people got to come together. The people have to protest. Me and Perry are doing our part. We're going to the protest tomorrow. We're going to try to air it live. Hopefully I won't get arrested or anything. I don't know what's going to happen because it's scary. It's a lot of people in one area, but I'm doing my part. So,
but you'll see it's going to get the little stuff that's going on now will help. The little people that's marching and stuff now, it'll help. But in the end, it's going to be demonstration like you've never seen before in every city. Miles and miles of people standing out there protesting. That's what's going to break them down. Because you can't shoot everybody.
Right.
Well, Pops, please don't say that because I'm scared. We are going tomorrow. And I hope everything.
So I'm saying they won't do it. Because this is not. Because this is not. See, one thing about America is the racist. It's racist. We all know that. And anybody get mad for me saying it, it's just silly. They gonna not attack white America. They're not gonna do it. They might push them around a little bit or something, but they're not gonna do them like they do minorities.
So you're saying we're safe as long as white people are there. We're safe.
That's right. That's what's gonna keep it. If we got there by ourselves or something, you probably get in the head, beat all up, but they're not gonna. And if they do jump on the white people, they're gonna go down even quicker. You know, if they be stupid enough to, and it could be that stupid enough to hit him and stuff, then he's going down quicker. But that's who's gonna bring them down, not minorities, not the Mexicans. The people that are gonna bring them down is the upper white and the middle class white, because they're messing with them now. That's what's going to bring them down. Never seen it before, but they're going to see it this time. Usually it's minorities and that kind of stuff. But this time it's regular United States of America white people. And they can't beat them all up. They can't shoot them down. And then when the end go down, it's going to be all races marching against them. You know, but the white America right now is beating the drums. They the drum right now. But it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. You'll see it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
They need to hurry up Come on, white people, because I can't take it. And it hasn't been 100 days.
Nope,
And
that's
I've
fair.
had enough of Trump to last me a lifetime. I
But
feel like
Trump-
he's worse than the first term.
But Trump, well, he is, because he got all the power now. But Trump won't give up. He's not scared of the American people. He know he got all the juice, he got all the power. But the only thing he gonna see when it's miles and miles of upper white Americans out there, I don't know what he gonna do because you can't beat them up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you do, you're gonna make it worse. Because he
Yeah.
might try to hit him inside the head and beat him up a little bit, but it's gonna make it worse. He's facing a storm that's coming like he never seen before. There's always a minority, the blacks, acting up. You know, so what else they can hit us and they won't say nothing. They can lock us up and the white America won't say anything. But they won't stand for them to lock them up. It ain't gonna happen. And that's who's gonna beat him. That's who's gonna bring him down. You know, you'll see.
And y'all, you guys remember the story I told you yesterday about ICE tried to arrest the 20-year-old U.S.-born citizen down in Florida, Leon County, and they refused to let him out of jail. They kept refusing. But I think when social media started talking about these things, that it put a little bit more pressure on him, right? Because his mother had brought his birth certificate, social security card. They act like it wasn't real. It was fake. And they still refused to release him. As people started talking about it in the media, all of a sudden, then he finally get released. So that is a good sign, which I'm saying it's a good sign. This shit should have never happened. Because they arrested him to be an unauthorized immigrant or whatever. Unauthorized entry to Florida. It was some crazy shit like that.
So they did let him out?
Yeah. So
Good.
He did get out. So I guess two good things did happen. At least we know Kilmar Garcia is still alive. That's a blessing.
Yeah.
And then this young man, 20 years old, he's out. He got out. And here's a little small clip. I guess him hugging his mother. I'm not sure who this female is.
Oh.
It's a damn shame, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's just crazy how most people think life is, you know, the way it was, I don't know, before Trump came in office. Let's put it that way. People keep thinking life is where it was 100 days ago, before Trump. But Trump is a whole new, different monster. Like Pop said, at the end of the day, I always say he want to be a dictator. But what Pop simply saying, and I got to agree with it, his actions is of a dictator now. When you tell people, sit down, be humble. The Supreme Court and federal judges, when you don't give a damn what they say to you and you do what you want to do anyway, that is a dictator's actions, right?
Yeah.
So a dictator is not elected. Nobody elects the dictator. A dictator do just exactly what Trump do, but he never dealt with the American people before. But he's already a dictator right now. You know?
Yeah. So it's a trip. But we might have some good things that we win a little bit, like with the Kilmar Garcia. It's not a win-win. It's a blessing that he's alive, but he's still in prison.
Yeah.
With the young kid from Florida, he's been released. So you'll have some little small wins in the justice system or in the courts, but at the same time we having those, we still gonna have ICE agents hammering their way into vehicles. Check out this clip.
An undocumented Guatemalan man was arrested by federal agents after they smashed his car window. Cell phone video shows Juan Francisco Menendez and his wife surrounded by federal agents after being pulled over in New Bedford, Massachusetts. Francisco Menendez called his lawyer for help, and she told the couple to hand the agents her business card and tell them she was on her way. A federal agent is heard telling the couple in Spanish that they can either do it the, quote, easy way or the hard way before threatening to smash the car window. Minutes later, video shows an agent smash Francisco Menendez's car window with a hammer. Francisco Menendez's lawyer says he qualifies for derivative asylum and has no criminal record. His wife says he's now being held at an ICE detention center in Dover, New Hampshire. CNN reached out to ICE for more information, but has not heard back.
Every time I see that, I get chills.
It's messed up. And you get people like, we all sitting here and the people in the chat like, damn, why can't people be treated like people?
Yeah.
You get some people like the MAGA people and these racist people that's deeply racist, deep in their heart. They love it. That's what they mean, make America great again. It's sad, but that's the truth. And then, I don't know, it's just crazy. So that is pretty much the stories I did have, but we can touch on, I seen another thing today where a whistleblower had came out and said that Elon Musk has gained entry to pretty much all, because he always said, well, I'm just getting, I only have allowed so much entry into his computer system. He got all our social security numbers and all this. A whistleblower is coming out saying this. And to touch on what we were saying yesterday, why he feel like he should be the one going to the Pentagon to talk war meetings, possible war plans with China. Who the hell is he? He ain't got no top secret clearance. I know that. But he got a lot of money that he invests in China and other countries and even probably Russia.
But he done gave Trump money.
Right. So
Ain't
he
no
buys them.
because where did he get his money from? He was dead broke after the trial. Now where did he get his money from? You don't hear him crying about it being broke now.
Pop, do you think Elon Musk is a traitor?
I don't think he care about America. He's not American. He's not American citizen.
No. Will he double cross Donald Trump?
Of course. No doubt about mine, of course. And
then,
Trump,
okay,
and Trump could he'll double cross him. That's the way they play up there.
Right.
They ain't play, that's the name of the game.
Okay, my question for you, Pops, is would Elon sell out the U.S. in favor of China by passing secrets? What the hell he got to do at a probable war meeting?
Listen, he would sell out anybody for a profit. He's
Elon
not from here. Yeah, Elon Musk will sell out anybody for a profit.
Mm-hmm.
He's thinking about money and profit and how much he can control. He don't give a shit about America. And you know he don't care about black people from South Africa.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. You know he don't care. We even got to guess about that fact. Trump might as well be from South Africa. You know what I'm saying? He all with the right group. He's all with the militant groups on the other side, the Klan and all that. He all into that. So they glove in hand. Nobody, they just don't like them. It's just awful. It's just a shame, that we got to have to suffer because he ain't going to get straight out. And Trump ain't going to give up. You know what I'm saying? But they'll run him out eventually. It won't be no 4 years. There's no way he's going to make it for 4 years. No way. And y'all going to see every marches like you never seen before, but not just one blacks marching in one city. You're going to see whites and everybody out there marching in every city.
Read that, Perry. It's cute.
Great, Rebecca. Rebecca said, Perry, we whites are showing up. My mom and I and many of our church members were at the last rally, and we're going to the next.
Thank you. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you.
Because even the one here, I think it was 2 weeks ago in Vegas, it was a lot of whites. So that's the part that's going to take him down, like you saying, Pop. Like, when he started messing with whites and blacks, because like the blacks, if he's just picking on one race, they don't get no sympathy. But he can't go out there and do white people that way without other whites saying, no, you don't cross the line.
They won't take it.
They're not going to take it. Yeah, they're not going to take it. Thank God.
Because we got to take it. And so when we get mad and start rising, then they start beating us up. But they can't. They might try it, but let them start hitting middle class white people and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're not going to do it.
Let them hit them upside the head and start throwing them in the train.
Right.
So this is the first time in history that it's not a minority race they after. It's after their own people, and they won't take it. People have been free.
It's kind of weird though, Pop, because in the beginning it seemed like Elon Musk and Donald Trump wanted America to be all white. Then all of a sudden they started turning on each other. Well, did they forget the goal? What is going on?
Well, that's personality. Trump used to having everything his way, and Eli used to having everything his way. So you're going to crash sometime with both of us. Yeah,
but this is not a crash. This is, go ahead and play the tape, Perry. This is Elon Musk turning on the United States of America in favor of China.
I don't have a tape. I don't have a tape, honey.
Oh, you don't have the tape of the whistleblower?
He's not,
no, I just talked about it. Yeah, I don't have the tape though.
He's not even from here. He don't care about America.
No, I don't have that tape. But if you think about it, like Pop said, he'll turn on anybody. He damn sure will sell out of country too. And just like he got this Starlink,
Mark, who would turn on? Say it again.
Elon would turn on anybody, even a country. Yeah. That's why you can't have him give him access to sensitive material.
Oh, he know all the secrets now.
Right? Did Sherelle pop out? Yeah, something happened. Okay, but anyway, so he even like turned off the Starlink for protection. People use the satellite system for protection for defenses, like military defense in Ukraine. He turned it off with them and Taiwan. He turned it off, it favors China. And then he turned it off in Ukraine because it favors Russia, right? Now, these fools is giving him access to have his Starlink system in our government offices, as if his Doge boys ain't intruding on our stuff already, right? Now they got him putting his satellite stuff. It's like, who let us spy in our government? They brung him in. He paid his way in. I can't say he broke in. He paid for admission. And that's what I think Elon Musk is a damn traitor. And Trump's so money hungry, he don't give a damn. And I even think Trump be a traitor because all that classified ads and stuff he had at Mar-a-Lago, it was there for a reason.
Well, Trump wanted the right to rule. He wanted the Klan and all them kind of groups. And then when they call him to the right.
Oh, yeah, far right.
Yeah, okay.
Far right.
Yeah. He went to far right because that's what he is.
Mm-hmm.
So he's trying to set the stage up for that, But it won't go down like they think. And if he try to hang us and shoot us this time, we armed too. So I don't think it'll go down to their benefit. But it's just too bad that, you're going to tear up the country. You're going to have the country out to it. And some people, no matter what go down, it's going to stay racist regardless.
Yeah.
I don't care if they shot down 30 people, minorities, they still going to say what they had the right to, because you got them deep heart racism, you know what I'm saying, that was brought up by the daddy like that. And that's what Trump is, brought up with racism. And all he cares about the rich. He don't even care about the upper middle class. All he cares about the rich people. What can you do for me lately? That's his whole thing.
Right.
But it won't come out like he think it's going to come out. But when the money dry up, at least now we still getting a little brace because he's giving extensions and he's giving this. But in a minute, it won't be no extension. He have everything in full effect. And that's when it's really going to get bad with the people. Because nobody going to sit here and watch their kids, their sons, their daughter, their mother, their father, the senior starve.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's going to sit around, and that's where he's making a mistake. And he can't ride down. And this is the first time in history that he can't ride down unless he's going to ride down his own people, and they won't stand for it. They've been free too long. It ain't going to work.
And
Stuff he's trying to do is not going to work.
Mm-hmm. Gary, I have that videotape about
Elon Musk. Post it up and I can play it.
Let me see.
And then Nate says this, right? I love my non-racist white he don't say non-racist. But when we say racist, and most people just say white, but we ain't speaking to all white people.
Yeah.
Not all whites are racist.
I think everybody knows that. Here, I'm gonna do it right now. Let me see.
Okay, I'm gonna say I love my white folks for taking the reins and stepping into this MAGA madness. Yeah, because minorities, we need to help because we can't do it alone and be successful.
Well, they had no choice. And they ain't doing it out of the kindness of their heart. You know, they doing it because they got no choice to do it. You know, he coming at them. You know, he hurt their pocketbooks.
He hurting everybody.
So, you know, so that's why they taking it up.
Rebecca says
start on them first.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
It's
Rebecca
crazy.
says this. It's a quick trip from Baltimore Penn Station to DC, and we get riled up on the way there. I hear that. Thanks again, Rebecca. And I think you got it. Here we go. I'm pulling up.
Data points that I want to point out that should give everybody pause.
Now, what we're watching now is this clip of a whistleblower that's telling you what Elon is up to.
What Dan witnessed was that within 15 minutes of Doge employees creating user accounts, i.e. usernames and passwords, within 15 minutes of those accounts being created, somebody or something from Russia tried to log in with the right username and right passwords. That is to say, the right credentials. And that happened over 20 times.
Yes, absolutely. Daniel is coming forward at great personal risk, and we will get to that in a moment. But think about what you just heard. Doge has been showing up to government agency after government agency, demanding access to data, and we have zero oversight what they are actually doing with that data. Now we're getting insider information from Daniel and other employees who were so concerned that the confidential data at the NLRB could be exposed and abused by private companies. And for this, I want to turn back to NPR briefly. Quote, "The labor law experts interviewed by NPR fear that if the data gets out, it could be abused, including by private companies with cases before the agency that might get insights into damaging testimony, union leadership, legal strategies, and internal data on competitors, Musk's SpaceX among them.
Perry,
it could also
stop.
intimidate whistleblowers."
So Elon Musk is going around stealing people's private information. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, he tried to go to a meeting with the Pentagon, talking about China. Is he selling information to China? What is he doing? It's not on the behalf of the United States. I know that. And if I know he's a whistleblower or a traitor, then Trump has to know Elon is a traitor, right?
He has the
But
same.
He's not from America, so he ain't a traitor. He's not American citizen.
You keep saying that, Paul. He's not even a traitor. He doesn't belong here.
Right.
He doesn't. Yeah, he's not from here. He's not. You know, Trump just needed money. He helped Trump with money. You know, and that's how he
right now, Donald Trump has to know that he's doing something fishy with people's private information, and I think he's upset about it because he stopped the meeting with the Pentagon yesterday.
Right.
So Trump has to know that he's a traitor or whatever you call him because he wasn't born here, but he's not for the United States.
He's a double agent.
Double agent. There you go. He's a double agent. Unbelievable. Sorry, Perry. Go ahead.
Blowers who might speak up about unfair labor practices, and it could sow distrust in the NLRB's independence, they said. The whistleblower's account is corroborated by internal documentation and was reviewed by 11 technical experts across other government agencies and the private sector. In total, NPR spoke to over 30 sources across the government, the private sector, the labor movement, cybersecurity, and law enforcement who spoke to their own concerns about how Doge and the Trump administration might be handling sensitive data and the implications for its exposure. Much of the following comes from the whistleblower's official disclosure and interviews with NPR. So this is very well sourced. And while the acting press secretary for the NLRB is responding to this reporting, denying that Doge was provided access to its systems and data and that an investigation took place already, the reporting is clear to note that there's evidence that's not true. forensic data, records of conversations. You can't just deny the evidence. But like I said, Daniel is coming forward at great personal risk. And I want you to hear from Daniel and his attorney because it's described in the NPR reporting, but let's hear about the personal threat taped to Daniel's front door directly from the source.
Yeah, he does some shit. And then they'll say they're investigating. I know, I see part 2. And then, so basically, when they go and say, hey, this is happening. No, we investigated. They're sticking up for Elon and the shit he's doing. So their benefit, well, some kind of way, either they are fearful to say something because of Trump, that they know Trump on. So they letting this guy peek his head in every room, every private department of our government.
Yeah.
And like you said, Sherelle, they got to see, if we see in it, that he's a natural born traitor.
I think Donald Trump knows big time that Elon Musk is a double agent, but he can't do anything about it. One, because Elon Musk knows where all the dead bodies are.
Mm-hmm.
Two, he's probably threatened by Elon. Think about it.
Well,
who's going to tell Elon no? Who's going to tell him no? Who's going to tell him to stop? Who's going to expose what he's doing? I bet you he's giving Donald Trump hell on wheels. What'd you say, Pop?
He's backing Donald Trump with money. Where's he getting his money from? He's getting it from rich people. But the first one to stand up was Elon. Mm-hmm. So he owe him a lot of money. He don't have no respect for Donald Trump.
You're saying that Donald Trump can't do anything about it because he made a deal with the devil?
Well, he owed the devil. You know, I'm the kind of deal they made when he owed him, you know, and just like he made him, he can break him. Because he get his money, where is he getting his money from?
Right.
Most of it contracts and everything like that.
You don't hear nothing about no money no more. You know.
Yep.
One day, these two are going to fall out publicly, I think.
But
I just don't see how this is going to last like this. Elon's the president and not Donald.
But he can't be president because he ain't a citizen. You'll find out Trump can't cross him. I don't think he can cross him. I don't know all what he did for Trump, but he saved Trump. Trump is still broke. Mm-hmm. You know, he's making money now cheating on the stock market and stuff. So he's making his money back by doing inside trader and stuff like that. You know, so by the time he leave office, he might be back rich. He will be because he's making sure of that. But he can't cross the guy that helped him when he was down. That's why he's so hard to trying to help him, trying to sell his cars and stuff. You know, he can't cross him, you know. So, you know, he saved him, you know. Mm-hmm. Trump was on his way down, and this guy came along and saved him, you know, for his own, but he got his own plans. He ain't no puppet, that's for sure. He ain't listening to what Trump say.
Yeah.
I mean, even the son doesn't like Trump.
I know. But let's get to that second part of this whistleblower.
Okay.
Drone footage of him walking his dog to accompany the threat. This is serious. Elon does not want this story to gain traction. According to the whistleblower complaint, interviews with the whistleblower and records of internal communications reviewed by NPR, quote, technical staff members were alarmed about what Doge engineers did when they were granted access, particularly when those staffers noticed a spike in data leaving the agency. It's possible that the data included sensitive information on unions, ongoing legal cases, and corporate secrets, data that 4 labor law experts tell NPR should almost never leave the NLRB, and that has nothing to do with making the government more efficient or cutting spending. Members of the Doge team asked that their activities not be logged on the system, and then appeared to try to cover their tracks behind them, turning off monitoring tools and manually deleting records of their access. Evasive behavior that several cybersecurity experts interviewed by NPR compared to what criminal or state-sponsored hackers might do. If you can believe it, it gets worse and more scary. And this is because employees with the NLRB were particularly concerned with what they started seeing, these login attempts that they started seeing just minutes after Doge arrived from an IP address in Russia. And this is where I'm going to pass it to the whistleblower's attorney to outline 2 key issues that we need to focus on here.
Whoa!
That's
oh my
data points that I want to
God!
point out that.
Sorry.
This is insane. Do you think he's a double agent for Russia?
I think he's.
Oh my God! This is just a mess.
He's an independent contractor. Whoever gonna pay him.
Wow.
And like I said, Pop's don't use it. I know what Pop's saying about a trader because he's not a citizen. But when you get your hands over and you're supposed to be representing and helping out and you turn your back on the people who paying you and stuff like that, well, I guess he ain't turning his back because hell, China paying him, all these countries paying them money.
This is
He's just a backstabbing.
So Vladimir Putin is just using Donald Trump. They're not, I wouldn't say friends, but 2 countries working together. He probably thinks Donald Trump is an idiot. Elon Musk is way more dangerous than Donald Trump.
Yeah. Putin is just.
And isn't this what happened at Watergate? Except this is more high tech. This is cyber.
Yeah.
That's what happened with Watergate with Nixon. People broke in and stole information.
Yeah.
That's what Elon Musk is doing. Oh my God, this is unbelievable. This cannot get any worse. This is the worst presidency ever. So we're all over here looking at deportation, which is bad, but Elon Musk is steady stealing our information, being a double agent, probably working for Russia and China.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Well,
Don't know what to say.
I never trust a freak. And Putin is only just using Donald Trump. Putin is just using Donald Trump for his lunch money. He would never hang out with that coward, party with that coward.
He doesn't even like Donald Trump.
He don't like the way his smelly pamper smell or nothing. The best he could do, it wouldn't surprise me if his wife wasn't a traitor.
But Pop, so what you're saying is right. These are professional criminals running the country. They're all turning on each other. This just can't go right. This is making the history books. This is just, I know you guys aren't phased. You're thinking that's just one more thing wrong, but wow. This is my first time hearing this. I'm just, wow.
Yeah. But so that's pretty much where we at. But like I said, it's some good things that happen. At least we know Kilmar Garcia is still alive.
Yeah.
He was fearful that he was no longer here. And then the young man from Florida got released after showing his birth certificate. Well, not after showing it. It still took some time. But at least he got released. But Trump ain't going to stop at anything. He's still going to be the racist person that his father taught him to be. And let me know in the comments, people, how you think about if.
Well, don't forget to announce we're going live tomorrow. Don't forget tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah. If Elon's a traitor, will Trump and Elon ever have this public fight that we think we're going to have, the heavyweight fight of the year? I think Trump too scared, personally. Yeah. Because Elon can flee, like, he got his money, he can leave. Trump still need to collect some more money, which he in the process.
He's not a traitor because who is he trading? He's not a citizen of America. Donald Trump is a traitor.
Okay, Pops, I'm gonna say this to make you feel better. Then he's a backstabber.
Double. What did you call him? Pop? A double agent. He's a double agent.
Yeah. That's it. But anyway, people, check us out tomorrow because me and Sherelle gonna go to the protest here in Vegas, and we're gonna attempt to see how the signal is or whatnot if we can film it live. So check that out. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. If you haven't liked this video, please like it. It do help us out in the algorithm. And everybody have a nice Easter weekend. Until the next show on 3, people, let's say bye. 1, 2, 3.
Bye. See you tomorrow. Bye.